Good morning, everybody. It's Graham once again from Unearthed and another episode of Detecting Talk. This episode will be quite interesting because it's based around people's detectors and their choice of detectors. So I hope you wonderful people will find this of interest, and I know quite a few of you will. Now, a lot of you people that keep an eye on social media, up to date with social media and the circus that comes along with social media, will realise and know that there is a few machines, metal detectors, new metal detectors on the horizon that are going to be with us very soon. Some of these detectors will be of interest to a lot of people, not only for the features and price, but hopefully their performance as well. But it gets you thinking about people's choices of detectors and how they make that choice. Now, we find at Unearthed is we get a lot of phone calls off individuals that are maybe starting out detecting for the first time, or they've been detecting for a number of months and they want to upgrade their particular detector to something that their friends may be using, or somebody at their club has told them to buy, or they've seen somebody out in the field on a rally or an organised dig using a particular brand of machine or a particular type of detector, and they want to get their hands on one. But what people fail to realise is, are they actually going to be compatible with that machine? And this is why this Detecting Talk episode today is going to be based around that particular subject. Now, there's a lot of people that buy high-end machines that are relatively new to the hobby, and they seem to struggle. They don't like the tones of the machine, they don't like the balance of the machine, they don't like the features, they don't like the programs. They struggle like mad, and then they either give up and sell it on and go back to the original detector that they had, keeping it simple and straightforward, or in frustration they stick it on some of these selling sites and get rid, and sometimes never come back to the hobby at all. Now, I'm a great believer of just sitting back, doing your homework on a particular brand and a particular type of machine, and writing down what you want in a machine. Now, a lot of people, I think, and a lot of people that I talk to, and the advice I give them is there's three main boxes that need to be ticked on particular detectors, I think, and this is my opinion. Ease of use is one. People don't want to be necessarily stuck out in the field scratching their heads, struggling to get their heads around these programs and thinking, oh, what is it? Now I can't remember what settings I needed to put in. So simplicity is a really big plus point for a lot of detectorists. You don't want to be struggling out in the field with a complicated machine that takes a degree, a university degree to use, worrying about if you've got the right program in it, and all the time watching your friends buzzing around you on a rally or an organised dig finding umpteen coins, and you're still stood there scratching your head. So ease of use is one box that needs to be ticked. And the next one is, I think, it's going to be lightweight. It's going to be light enough for you to be able to swing comfortably for a detecting session. Now, people's detecting sessions can change dramatically from one to the other. So, for example, our detecting sessions of a weekend is usually probably around about 7 or 8 hours. It used to be longer than that, but we're getting a bit older now, so we don't necessarily stay out in the fields beyond tea time, unless it's a productive site. So 7 or 8 hours is a decent detecting period session for us. But some guys that detecting sessions are for a couple of hours. If they're lucky enough to walk out their back door in arable fields, a couple of hours in the morning is enough for them. So everyone's is different. But what I'm trying to say is, you've got to get a machine, a detector that is light enough for you to swing around for them sessions, depending on how long they are, without any fatigue. There's no real enjoyment or joy in swinging around a heck of a lump of a machine that makes this area of your arm, I always get it in here, right in there, really sore, and I feel it for days afterwards if I'm swinging a big heavy machine around. So that puts people off. The fatigue element can put people right off. So you've got to get a machine. So the second box ticked, you've got to get a machine that's light enough for you to swing without any fatigue for a period of time. And of course the third one is, and it's probably the most important one, is performance. It's okay to be lightweight and easy to use, but if it hasn't got the performance and it can't do the business out in the field and pick up them elusive hammered coins and Roman artifacts or whatever it is you're looking for, then it's a complete waste of time. So the three main elements to me now: ease of use, lightweight, performance. If you can tick all them three boxes, you're on the way to finding your perfect machine, or almost perfect machine. So you've got to weigh it up, put it down on paper. When you're looking for a new machine, do them boxes become ticked when you're looking at that particular model? It might have an amazing array of features on it, but if you can't get into that menu system fast enough, clear enough, easy enough for you to understand and digest, even after 6 months of using it, it's the wrong machine for you. We're finding a really lot of people buying detectors and not getting on with them. They don't like the tones. I mean, some tones sound like a bell ringing, don't they? Some sound like a Donald Duck quacking. Some sound like R2-D2 off Star Wars bleeping all over the place. Every detector's tones are different. You've got to find one that's compatible to you, that you like listening to. Them crisp, precise, two-way targets. And a lot of people are buying machines and I just don't like the sound of it. I don't like the features of it. I don't like the weight of it. I don't like... Before you jump in, folks, before you jump in and buy a detector, look at its features, look at its ease of use, look at its performance. If it ticks them boxes, you're on the right track. Believe me. There's too many people coming at the hobby and dismissing their machines for whatever reason after a number of weeks and sticking them back on eBay. They're sticking them back on some of these social media sites for sale. And it's used, guys, your hard money, your hard-earned money, that's going down the swanner. So it's a difficult one, but you've got to make sure you discipline yourself enough to make sure them boxes are ticked. And there's a bonus box to be ticked as well. If the machine's weatherproof, happy days. Now, it doesn't have to be waterproof, because how many used guys out there dive with machines? There won't be many. So it's okay making these machines waterproof, but how many actually dive, submerge it under the water? There won't be many. So the machine only has to be weatherproof to give it a bonus box. That's ticked. This day and age, it's absolutely ridiculous that machines aren't made with weatherproof control boxes. The control box is one of the most, or if not the most important part of your detector. If you get that wet, you're in a world of hurt. So the manufacturers should be now looking at positive steps forward to make their control boxes completely weatherproof. The last thing you want to be doing is being on a productive site. All your three boxes are ticked: ease of use, lightweight, great performance. A big black cloud comes over and submerges you with rain and the detector at the same time. It's not weatherproof. Did you know it was weatherproof? I can't remember if it was or it wasn't. Believe me, some guys do not realise that the machines are not weatherproof. You wouldn't believe how many people we sell detectors to that don't understand that the machine's not weatherproof. They think they automatically are. And of course, the warranties are void and you're in a world of trouble. So, bonus box to be ticked, weatherproof machine. Even better, that will go a long way into you making that right choice of detector. But if there's anything to come out of this particular film, is please do your homework. Never mind listening to Billy down the club and his metal detector that he's had for 25 years and it's the best thing since sliced bread. Never mind the celebrity guy on YouTube or social media saying this is the best thing on the planet with his rather shiny hammered coins that he's just found. Never mind listening to all that hype and rubbish that some of these magazines and things write. You've got to make the choice. You've got to be adult enough to make that choice yourself and that you're happy with. I mean, I know people that have bought relatively cheap and cheerful machines that have got great performance. Believe me, they have. But they are a cheap machine. And they get ridiculed when they turn up at the club dig. Because all the big guys are using the £1,000 plus machines. They're walking down the tracks together. Bit of banter going on. Bit of singing. Fags hanging out. And you walk past them with your relatively cheap and cheerful detector. Look what he's using. They get ridiculed for it. Do not be put off by them guys. Believe me. Make the right choice yourself. Do your homework. Make the right choice. And take advice off decent dealers. Never mind these dealers that you'll ring up and say, I want a detector. They put you over to the first thing on the shelf. That's £1,000 plus. It's absolutely ridiculous. there's a common misconception in the detecting world that you've got to buy the best to get the best out of the hobby. That's poppycock. Believe me, it is. You do not have to buy high-end machines to get the best out of this hobby. We've proved that over the years. We've always used mid-range machines, mid-price machines, and probably give many detectors twice the price of bloody nose. So get the proper advice, do your homework, make sure all the boxes are ticked, and you're on the right track. So I'm hoping that this film is going to give people like you guys that are coming into the hobby the right, correct, professional advice on detectors. But of course, going back to the original part of this film, when we talked about the emergence of new machines coming on the market, I think a lot of people will be surprised in what's coming. I think they'll be surprised in the performance, the features and the price. Believe me, I do. So I think there's a lot to be excited about in the next 4 to 5 weeks. I think detecting probably will be slightly turned on its head with what's coming. But I'm not going to get into the situation where I'm going to start hyping up things that I've not even touched or used yet. But I'm reading between the lines and I'm looking at the information and I'm thinking there's a lot of people going to be interested in the particular machines that are coming. So watch this space. We'll see if we can do some YouTube filming reviews or whatever we want to call it, a first glimpse, a first glance, looking at the features, etc., etc. So at least you guys know what to expect, what to look at, and what to go for. Because, you know, gone are the days when you're picking up machines that have been on the market for 15, 20 years and expect them to be as good as the modern, ultra-fast, new technology machines that are coming out, because it doesn't work like that. You only have to look at your laptop computers with the old processors in them. You know, we couldn't go back to using our laptops from 10 years ago because they're out of date. They don't perform as well as the modern ones do. They're not as quick. They're not as, the memories aren't as big, and etc., etc. A little bit of that in detecting, believe it or not. They still use processors, detectors. They're a lot quicker than they used to be. The modern, ultra new machines that are coming on the market are a lot better. Believe me, a lot better than some of the early ones. Not all of them, because some of the early detectors I would probably still use myself. They're that good. But there's a lot of them now going to fall by the wayside because they've been out too long. We class it as old technology, and it's about time they got to kick up the backside. So watch this space, folks. There's some interesting information coming. I hope that's helped. Please leave a comment or two. I know you guys love watching these short films and commenting, because your comments, some of your comments that you make are fantastic. They really are very, very helpful. And of course, remember, and I'll say this before I turn this film off, don't buy into the hype. If you buy into the hype, you just fall into a trap, and sometimes you can end up with a bloody nose and an empty wallet. So there, if that's any advice I can give you, do your homework. Okay, folks, next episode of Detecting Talk will be this weekend, because I'm out detecting on a particularly interesting place. A couple of interesting fields have come available, so I'm hoping to do a video this weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, so watch out for that. I'm hoping for some better finds than we did the last time we were out, but you know, you've got to be in it to win it in this game, haven't you? Good luck if you guys are out this week and this weekend. I hope you find some many nice things. If you keep an eye on social media, you'll see lots and lots of interesting finds coming up, because the crops are coming out, people are getting access to the land. You're seeing more and more Roman coins, hammered silver coins and artifacts coming to light, which is fantastic news. Before I disappear, folks, keep watching this a minute. The Minelab event is on the 28th of September. There's about 45 names down for that event now. There's still spaces available. If you want to come and spend time with us on the Minelab event here in Cumbria, in Dalton, you're more than welcome. Free food. Who can give up that? Who can give up the chance of a bit of free food? Chance to win an Equinox 600, token hunt, some freebies given out on the day, and looking at some new products. Fantastic day it'll be. So get your name down for it. Drop us an email, drop us a message on here even, or just give the office a ring and we'll book you a place. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll catch up with you soon. Bye for now.